So I recently had to like renew like a food license thing, and I had to take a safety course on
Hmm.
alcohol. And one of the things that it taught me, that
Don't drink and drive.
I guess should have been like pretty common or common sense, was that apparently like bigger people, as in more body fat, like the faster you get drunk. Faster, not like slower. You would,
Really?
yeah, because like the body fat like does not help in any way process the alcohol. So I don't know. There's something there where there's like less actual body, like it's not counting the body fat as part of the body. You know what I mean? Like if somebody is 200 pounds and they're like 35% body fat, like only like 130 pounds of that is lean mass versus somebody who's a little bit leaner but has more of that lean mass, like will digest it faster, even though the other person is much bigger and looks chunkier. And yeah, like I just thought
That's very interesting. I
that
had
that
no
was really
idea.
interesting. And
So
what
the
did you guys
bigger
think
you
about that?
are, the quicker you'll get drunk. Is that what you're trying to
Yeah, the
say?
more body fat you have, the faster you will get drunk.
That's bonkers because like Andrew the Giant, everyone knows Andre the Giant. He's the
Yes.
guy behind Obey,
Yeah.
streetwear, and all that shit. Famous
Yes,
stories about him getting drunk,
but
and it's like he
but
would need 2 cases of
I don't
32
think he was
packs,
known as
two
ridiculous that Phil. He was
No, he was not
he
super
was
fat.
known as
No.
a
All muscle.
a gigantic person of big muscles and big proportions,
Who
not
was
just
insanely
like,
strong.
yeah, not
I
just
have
like 40%
giantism.
body fat.
That is, I had no idea, but that's a very interesting fact. I'm glad I learned that.
Andre the Giant.
I guess I was hoping that we would get a little bit more into a spicy argument here, Phil. I need you to drive it.
No,
Tell,
no,
tell,
that makes
tell
sense.
us why you
I believe it.
disagree.
I get drunk every
Just make
week,
it
and
for
you
the
guys take
camera,
advantage of
Phil.
me.
Kayfabe
You,
here. I need you to
you guys
kayfabe.
get that's a WWE term. No, I believe it. Every week, you guys, pour me a big glass of wine. You're like, "Oh, Phil, you're bigger. You can take this." And I'm going to
I
work
don't
like,
think
"Oh
anyone said that.
fuck."
Welcome to Bro Taste This.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Welcome
To Vida
to.
y Vino. No, we got it. We're cooking.
I like that.
Taste this, boys.
Brought to you by the
Exactly.
Bro Tasters Network, episode 67. 68? We're kind of a couple of numbers away from my favorite number, 69. Is that
You're
still
such a
comical or
child.
is that too amateur now?
No,
Too
I
amateur.
feel like it's pretty amateur.
Amateur?
I don't think most people talk about it as much.
Well, to be fair, I can get away by saying 69 was my football jersey number, which is a little bit more pathetic that I'm still hanging on to that, to my glory
Yeah.
football days.
Your high school fucking football team. Well,
Mhm. Number
were you good at all?
69. Oh, yeah. I
Did
cried
you
at the
start?
end.
Yeah.
I mean, I had passion. Does that count?
Yeah, yes, it does. Amen. Amen. It means a
I
lot,
cried.
doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I was cheering up when Bigfoot put us down for the last count.
Damn.
The
I saw your
Chiefs.
trophy, Phil. Scout team
Yeah,
player of the year.
yeah, I do. I do have a little trophy, Scout Team Player of
Practice
the Year.
player of the year, dude.
Oh,
No,
There we go.
nobody practiced hard like this guy, man.
Could not
No,
agree
man.
more.
I was a good example for the youngins. For
Yeah,
the
exactly.
young.
I bet you did take football very seriously.
Nah. Yeah, I did. Especially when it came to like game day, I'd be wearing 69 all over. Females could
Yeah.
not stop, wearing my jerseys on game days. Home
Begging
games.
you to stop bothering them.
They're like, yes, fine. If you leave me alone, I'll wear it. Stop. Okay. Jeez.
I thought that was so gay. This is how gay I am. I thought that letting a girl borrow your jersey was so lame. I'm like, that's your fucking jersey. Why are you gonna let somebody borrow that?
You like have
I'm
to
like, they don't know what it's
Dude,
like.
you would be that guy. You would be that
I
guy.
was like, they don't know what it's like to sweat for the jersey.
It's
They
like
don't know
a
what it's like to.
I don't want to walk
Yeah,
it twice.
exactly. I earn that shit. Not you, bitch.
Mhm. Hey, before we get too off topic, let's introduce ourselves to everybody that may be joining in
Yes,
for the first
please.
time. And if you are, leave, get out. We are too big as it is. We're crowded. We don't need any more people.
We don't need more bros. The bro nation is big enough.
You already know that voice. It's the one and only, the one and truly, Luis
Smells like
Pablo.
patchouli. Yeah.
You see I threw a curveball there? Look at that.
Yeah.
That's
God,
why
but
we
not
get-
forgotten.
Yes. Back in full color and living color. You're looking pretty flush too, Papa.
I feel like shit, but I'll get into it.
You got some rosy cheeks going on. I love it.
The show must go on.
Speaking of the showstopper himself, Juan Legend.
How's it going, boys?
Hey. And
Luis,
you know that voice.
Your room
It's
looks
me.
like you're in a hostage situation or something.
No.
You just look so empty in there, you know?
We'll talk about it.
Bro, it looks like
in a
you
little
were
bit.
it looks like you were cellmates with Brittany Griner. Just locked up in Russian
Yeah.
prison. Yeah.
Hey, but we both got out, didn't we?
Oh yeah. And with standing next to Juan Legend, it's the Juan and only.
You used that shit like 3 times.
It's Leo.
Hello.
What's up?
Exactly.
What's up, Leo?
My heart rate, do you guys want to hear it? It's 88.
That's not 69.
Are any
No,
of
it's
you
very
guys
high.
do you guys have any beverages near you?
I have
do.
water that I've been slowly drinking because my throat hurts.
I've been drinking
Yeah.
a couple of high noons, which is kind of the water of the
Tómate un
Midwest.
tequila, mijo.
No, I wish. Yeah, for those watching, we're both in individual rooms. Leo and Juan are together. Phill is where the podcast studio.
We are in
And
the
I
BTT
am-
South Studios.
Exactly. And Luis, who has been gone, is out in Madison.
Yes.
As
Hey,
There's some
gone but
terrible
not
weather.
forgotten. So
No, probably forgotten. You guys forgot me most of the time. You guys would forget to introduce me and say where I was. But that's
Hey,
neither
that
here
was-
nor there.
That was Leo's. God damn it.
Neither
Leo.
here nor there.
God
Yeah,
damn
we are all staying indoors
How could you
because there's a
forget?
nasty storm out. Pretty easily. There's a nasty storm out, and we're all staying safe indoors. So, for those watching this, Merry Christmas, and stay safe because the next week is gonna suck, right?
Oh yeah. As we
I
creep
believe
on to
so.
2023, it's going to be very
Yeah.
nasty in the Midwest,
Mhm.
Upper North Peninsula, and for our brothers down in South, I think Texas is frozen over once again. So
Yeah.
great times to be Texas. Go Texas. But hey, as soon as we get out of the New Year's, it's going to be Super Bowl season, which I'm pretty excited about. So we got done with the World Cup. Argentina's, is on fire. Lionel Messi is celebrating. I've been seeing a lot of pictures of Lionel Messi, how he's like a true king, and like a bunch of models go around him, and like he throws sands at them. There's a picture of him and his friend at a beach. He's throwing sand at his wife, I think. Pretty badass.
I also saw that he like broke the record for the most popular social media post of all time with his, like when or the picture of him holding the trophy and celebrating with his teammates became the most popular picture on social media.
Whoa. When you said that, I thought it was going to be the Salt Bay picture that he took with Messi. That was going to be the most popular post on
Salt Bay was
social
forced
media.
to fuck off.
What are you talking about?
The Salt Bay, the chef.
Oh,
Yeah,
Salt
the Salt Bay
Bay.
chef.
Oh, I thought he was saying
Yeah.
South Bay. South Bay. I'm like, who the fuck?
No. Salt Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. Real quick, we'll introduce so today we're gonna be rounding out the year with our favorite video games, movies, shows, news events that happened this year, and just kind of not really breaking down, but just kind of highlighting what happened this year that maybe some people missed, and then going back into it.
Our Pornhub search, the top most downloaded porn, state by state.
Did you guys all see the World Cup final game?
I did.
They're very
I
intense.
did not.
We can probably start with that. I'd like to start with that actually.
All right, yeah, that's a good topic, especially because
Start it off, Luis.
So
many-
going into this tournament, go ahead, Philly.
I was going to ask you how many people died over the weekend, but I'm sure you're going to get into that. over the World Cup?
I think the last time I was actually on the podcast was right before the World Cup. No. The World Cup was actually a week into it, and Juan mentioned sports washing, which for those who don't know what it is, Juan, could you give a quick rundown of what sports washing is?
Sure. When like really rich countries, typically the examples most given are like Saudi Arabia, use sports to kind of normalize themselves as a government regime, leaders of said country, by seeing like funding a ton of money into like professional sports league, like the LIV league. And yeah, there's all sorts of forms of doing this. But yeah, I would say that that's probably like the quickest way to summarize that.
Beautiful. So yeah, we talked about the Qatar World Cup a bunch already, but the main thing to take away from it was hundreds of people died. They used slaves from Africa to make a lot of these stadiums. A lot of bad things happened in order for the Qatar World Cup, and it's all kind of broken down in the FIFA Uncovered Netflix documentary. Highly recommend that. Going into the tournament, there was a few big names that are playing their last World Cup. So that included Ronaldo, Neymar, and Messi, among other names like Guillermo Ochoa, Acuna, Gomez, probably Thomas Mueller. Like a lot of big names that mean a lot to the soccer fans. And to see them playing for the last time at a world event, you thought to yourself, like, well, damn, like it's going to be tough no matter what. Only one of these guys can win. So Messi did what Messi does in all tournament. I think he won out of the 8 games that he played. He was man of the match for 6 of them, which is
Damn.
insane.
How
Like
old is he?
unheard of.
Late
36.
40s, early 50s, 36?
Yeah.
Not that impressive.
Which is like 100 in soccer years. And in soccer years, he might as well be 100. It really doesn't matter. He managed to clinch it over the weekend. By the time people listen to us, it's been a week and a half. But yeah, the game just happened on Tuesday. We are recording on Thursday. No, the game just happened on Sunday. We're recording on Thursday. And yeah, I mean, it was super emotional. Like Juan said, he had the most liked social media post of all time with him celebrating the World Cup. It just means a lot, man. He won everything there is to win in the game, and kind of solidifies the fact that he probably is the best player to have ever lived. Like just the amount of trophies he's won, the individual awards, the team awards. The one thing holding him back was like, oh, he never carried Argentina to a big international tournament. Well, he did it 2 years ago with the Copa America, and he did it just recently with the World Cup. So kind of impressive to have known, like, oh, one of the greatest players to ever have lived, if not the best. We saw him from the age of 19. And like, it's not just recent memory. It's like, no, he's going back like 10, 15 years. He just insane.
And a
Great
clean
way
record
to cap
too.
off the tournament.
No record of domestic abuse, of sexual allegations, or anything naughty like that against Messi.
Some tax evasion.
But you don't live. Do you really live if you don't evade your taxes? Kind of a thing.
Yeah, especially in Spain, especially in Barcelona.
But I mean, this also gives, if you look at it the perspective of the losers, which is France, those frogs over there, right? This kind of gives them a chip on the shoulder because this is the second time.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? Frogs?
You say frogs?
Yeah.
What do you mean frogs?
Could you?
It's like a term, they call like, like a fanny, like it's like an ass, my fanny, it's lingo,
Is this a thing?
Is it lingo?
I don't lingo, or is this a real thing?
I'm pretty cultured, guys. I like to go out and further than my own patch of grass.
Fair enough. Let's keep it moving.
They love calling themselves frogs, the fighting frogs.
Fair.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And I think this gives them a chip on their shoulders, not only because they're frogs, but because they went to the World Cup twice and they finished second. They're like,
They won the last one.
They won 4 years ago.
Oh, they won the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Oh,
then
in fact, I
he probably
think
don't give
half
a
of the
shit about
team.
this. Can we look
Well,
into
you're
the
still cute.
logistics of this?
Phil,
Then maybe
this
they,
is. I think we've told you this twice on the podcast.
That
now.
they won
I
last
think
time.
Yeah, that they won
I,
last time.
I remember they made it to the finals, but I didn't,
They
put
won.
into my mind that they won. But
I remember
Yeah.
on the last episode we told you that like France was like the Death Star. They had
well,
just
to be fair,
winning.
last episode I did drink 8 shots of whiskey, so I mean, let's give let's give your brother a break here. Let's
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And for those who wondering what that is, go check out our YouTube where Juan and I tasted a bunch of whiskeys on our new segment called "Send It Back," not to be confused with "Send It
Don't
Back."
say it, shut up.
Yeah, beautiful. Any other thoughts on the World Cup, or should we move on?
Like honestly, like out of those two teams, I did want like just Messi to get one, just because like
Yeah.
he's a really good player. At the same time, dude, Argentina players talk a lot of smack. Like if Mbappe almost didn't beat him single-handedly.
Yeah.
Like 3 goals. He almost scored the 4th one too. Like by
Yeah.
himself.
Wait,
I also heard
Mbappe is the guy from
Argentina-
France, right?
Yeah.
I was
He
gonna-
Yeah.
almost beat them single-handedly. Like
Damn.
he like 2 minutes, 2 goals, like tied them up. Just to go to overtime and then score another one.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's pretty
jealous of
nutty.
him. I heard the news that came out over the World Cup that I saw was
Oh,
that
yeah,
there's a
He took
there's
your
a
model, right?
yes, thank you, Juan. He
Yeah.
took my favorite trans influencer model for my grasp.
Dude.
Those
you're,
photos are from months ago, by the way.
you're only one DM away, Phil.
Wait, they got together?
Those photos that
There's
you brought up.
photos?
Okay, so for context, we have a group chat, obviously. You dropped some link that showed like Mbappe transgender model. That is from months ago. I don't know how you just found out about that. I
Whoa.
genuinely don't know. Yeah,
Right?
that is
As if
old
we're
news.
all gonna be like that on the beat about stuff like that.
It made world news. I mean, soccer is a world sport. Anything that happens with anybody makes it big. And this wasn't like push under
No.
the rug. I mean, this was like Mbappe seen with transgender model. I mean, it was huge.
Luis, what music does our friend Phil listen to, bro? You can't have that high expectations for him, my man. Like,
Especially news. I would understand if it was something else, but when it's news, like
bro,
how do you
like,
not?
he especially out of all of us is probably the most siloed one here.
The
Like,
most what?
Silo.
Silent?
Silo.
What's silo?
Like,
Oh, you calling me fat? I'm built like a
Silo.
silo?
Yes.
Like
What the fuck?
you are
Siloed off.
siloed off. Like your media bubble is very specific. Like,
Bro, you calling
if
me
it's-
what the fuck? You say I am the shape of a media bubble?
oh
You
my
calling me
god,
even
shut up,
fatter?
bro. Shut
Bro, what the hell, bro?
up.
Yeah, you fat piece of shit.
First, it was
Okay,
bad enough you compared me to a silo. Now, a fart
A
bubble?
missile silo, bro.
Shit. But no, that's
Uh,
pretty crazy to hear that.
Yeah.
That my favorite model trans is dating McBappe.
I mean, beyond that, like another like to wrap up some sports here. A few big deal things that are happening. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady both look like they're nearing like the tail end of their career. They both
Yeah.
in the middle of like some bad seasons. And Aaron Rodgers has a player right behind him that's been training already like a year and a half, 2 years.
It's like 3 years now.
2 years now, going to be 3. And and that guy was very high drafted. Like if the Packers are going to move on and give that guy a chance, it would probably be this offseason. So we may be seeing some of Aaron Rodgers' last games, some of Tom Brady's last games. And can't harp on it enough. We are seeing the beginning of a franchise player in Justin Fields. What's up, boys?
All right, let's move on. You guys went to Chicago recently. How was that? How was visiting the homeland of Justin Fields?
They don't seem very psyched with him. Everybody's talking smack about him.
That's a lie.
People from Chicago were talking bad about
That's a lie.
their quarterback.
They're not going to do anything besides keep losing to the Packers.
That's a lie.
That's
Obviously.
it. That's all they said.
No, that's a lie. Obviously.
They're like, we're never gonna be good enough to compete.
Like, what's the point? What the fuck's the point? That's kind
No,
of funny.
Chicago was great though. We had a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
you guys went on a little cousin trip.
Yep, that's right. We were originally gonna go to some place in the Dells or some shit, but the like a lot of the cousins started like saying that they weren't gonna go for this or that reason. So then we just kind of restricted since it was smaller numbers. All decided to meet up in the same hotel in Chicago. We had a great ass time. But yeah, like
Beautiful.
the place we went to is called the Freehand. It has an award-winning cocktail bar in the lobby. The cocktails are like super cool. They're like tiki slash speakeasy style. But yeah,
Okay.
we
So
also
Juan, you're more proficient in your bartending skills and like the aura and the ins and outs of it per se, right? So when you go to these places like Chicago, Kentucky, and you see what they're serving you and the style, you like kind of criticize it and like there's not enough oomph to it. You're not putting enough passion to it. Let me back there. I'll show you to make this kind of a thing.
Get out of the way.
no, I mean I guess you could, but like you kind of know what to expect from a place when you're going into it, you know? Like
Okay.
very few times are you like totally surprised. But yeah, like so you just kind of adjust your expectations to that. And yeah, you don't ever I don't know, like a bowling alley is a bowling alley, bro. Like you can't ask them to make you a Manhattan, like get you a whiskey Coke or like get you a beer, you know?
But
Like you
you
can't have,
can you
Yeah.
can coach them. You can coach them. Be
yeah,
like, you know
exactly.
what,
That's
this is
my
a little
point. Like
strong.
yeah, like I'm not gonna say I would never be that guy that'd be like, what
It's a
one
little
ounce this,
strong.
1 ounce that. At most, like I've never even told somebody to look up a drink. Like I'll order off their cocktail menu or order a Manhattan, like very easy
Yeah.
shit. But yeah, I what for me on my end, it's much more appreciation and learning.
Oh, okay.
That's very
So
interesting.
even you are learning new tips and tacks and different ways to, muster it out.
Yes. Oh yeah, big time.
So
And
let me get. Mm, what are you gonna say,
I feel
Pablo?
like, I think Juan hit a very, you good? I think Juan
I
hit a
got
very good
heartburn.
point there when he said, like, you kind of know walking in the expectation you're going to have. So there's times where, yeah, you walk into like a nice establishment and you expect a certain level of treatment, a certain quality of food, drinks, and everything else. But yeah, when you're at your mom and pa's or like a bowling alley or a bar and grill, like, you know that the drinks are going to be strong. It should be like liquor mixer and then, have your Coke and shut the fuck up.
Mm.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Maybe
Yeah.
a beer on the draft, you know, and that's their
Yeah.
version of
Definitely.
fancy.
The
Definitely
best
don't be like,
drinks
oh, can I get a Cosmo?
plastic cups.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. No
No,
straw either. Here you go, bitch.
I need a straw. I will get antsy if I don't get a straw. I will take this as a personal affront to me. Do you not think I deserve a straw?
And not
Does it look
that
You're
like
like,
I
oh, they hate
paper
me.
straw, right? Not the one that falls apart.
No, it better
exactly
not be a paper straw.
American
Um,
made straw?
that's really interesting.
I'm an
I saw
American
some, I'll
man.
give a shout out though. I saw some really cool cocktails. There was this restaurant called like Icana. I discovered it through Alo, shouted it out to me, and then I rediscovered it like a month later, through this website or this page on Facebook called Pilsen Fest, which is literally like the little village, like or the Mexican neighborhood, page where they were just highlighting like some of the best chefs and restaurants like from their neighborhood. And
Oh yeah.
I saw that this bar had like coconut and pineapple old fashioned with coconut oil and I'm sorry, pineapple oil and coconut bitters and rum.
No.
Like that shit sounded delicious. But I also saw that they had huitlacoche old fashioned, which
Ooh,
is Mexican corn truffle. Um,
damn, that
and
sounds sexual.
they turned that shit into an old fashioned. And then, like last but not least, they also had this really cool drink. It was essentially like a tequila, slightly fruity cocktail served to you in a carafe, and then in a highball glass, like a tall vertical glass, you would have these spheres that were of frozen fruit juice. So you had soursop, passion fruit, and lula, which is a like sweet lime. And so like it would be affecting the cocktail like the whole time you were drinking it. It would slowly be getting fruitier, slowly be getting more like sour. And yeah, like there was all these like really cool techniques like that. A lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds wild. Personally, personally, no. If I go into a
Personally,
bar and there's different chambers to my drink, I'm out of there. Just give me one solid mouth to belly. I don't gotta go through this filter, this filter. This is the fruit chamber, and once the liquid drops into that, it's gonna get
There's no
absorbed
fruit
in
chamber,
there.
you fucking moron. It's ice cubes. That's too
What?
complicated for you.
Exactly. Just
yeah,
give
I
me
feel like
straight from the
Juice
tap.
we've
ice
gone over
Bro.
this
cubes
before.
Bro, juice ice cubes are too complicated for you.
Bro,
They're
give me a
not
keg.
making those fresh. That's all done ahead of time. So when you order it, it's just like, oh, here's your drink, boom. Like they don't want to be sitting there making this fucking cocktail for 5 minutes either.
Exactly. And they expect a big dip after that? I didn't tell you to put fucking fruits in ice cubes. I didn't tell you to do all that prep work. I told you to make me a fucking beer, an old
Yeah.
fashioned. You know?
You know what? This is a rare Phil W. I gotta agree with you there. A rare Phil W.
Hey, it's just in time for
Oh,
the holiday season.
exactly. But yeah, let's get into some other news. I've been away for a couple of weeks. Do you guys have any questions right up top before I kind of?
How cute is your neighbor? Is she single? Does she have a family? I mean, have you been giving my info out at all? You like you promised. You said that once you get up there, you're gonna start doing a little bit of networking for me.
Yeah, I've only met my neighbor once. It was in passing in the hallway, and it is a man. I don't know what his marital status is, but it is a dude. So I'm still working on it for you.
Yeah, you can resend
Fingers
that
crossed.
invitation.
Yeah. I'm still working on it for you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Return to sender in
Um,
that one. I don't know about that, folks.
exactly.
I mean,
Juan,
what
any
happens in
questions?
Madison stays in Madison.
No, I was gonna ask
Exactly.
you about what happened in the places you were gonna go to or send us pictures.
What places?
Yeah, there's a few places that I've been to and kind of scoping out. The problem is when we first moved up here, Adriana was sick, and we kind of had like a week to recover. And then this last week, I've been sick as fuck. And just today, it's been the worst. Like I'm feeling like dog shit. So I do apologize to the listeners and the viewers for how I feel and how I look. But yeah, there's been a few restaurants that I've been to that have been pretty decent. There was this one place called Amara that I went to on Sunday to celebrate the old anniversary. We were going to do it on Thursday, and we ended up going to Korean barbecue. And then Saturday, we ended up going to Milwaukee to this place called Ceviche to celebrate a friend of the show, Jay May, celebrate his birthday. And then, yeah, Sunday, we came back and had dinner at Amara. So I would like to take a minute to talk about Amara. Amara is this contemporary Italian restaurant which has been done to death. But I gotta say, like every single thing that I had from theirs was the best version of that I had. So like we had this yellowfin tuna served raw. That was the best. I
Raw?
mean, it melted in my mouth. It was so fucking good.
No,
Ooh,
So good.
all the time.
Yeah.
that's nuts.
One of the probably the most common
I
fish
know,
that you
right?
He just shows up right there. It's like raw.
Hey man, if you're going to a place named Ceviche, I want a little bit of
So zoomed in,
upward.
that's why.
Bro, oh my god, that you're not even on the right place. It's Amara, homie. Keep going.
He's so zoomed in.
Amara, ain't that
And
some
they-
Twitch gamer?
That's what it's called, right? Amara?
Yes.
I
The
think that's a
camera's so
Twitch stream.
close on your face.
Do
Whose
they
face? My face?
Yeah.
do they specialize in Amaro?
What is that? Oh, isn't that like isn't that like some bitter liqueur?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
They did specialize in Negronis. I will definitely say that. They had all types they had like a coconut infused Negroni. The one that I had was a Negroni Blanco, which was made like
Ooh.
entirely clear. with a sun-dried blood orange on the top. And dude, it was so good, but it was also a cocktail. So
Is
like
the
halfway,
is the Negroni Blanco called a
Wait, let him finish
Gringo
though.
Nori?
What were you gonna finish with
Gringo
that?
Nori?
Halfway through
No,
what?
no,
that
finish
was
the joke. I
no,
actually want
no,
to commit
no, no.
commit.
That landed nowhere. Go on now.
Yeah, you really
I'll
swung
enjoy
for the
my
fences with that one.
Gringo Nori.
Yeah, it was really good. I really fucked with it. Overall, the
Mhm.
restaurant was really good. I think that would be a very worthy place of going to for a birthday anniversary. And it's probably been the best restaurant that I've been to out here. I've only been to two. I went to that place. I went to this place called La Taguara, which is Venezuelan. That place was super good, but it's like a quick like entree sandwich place. Um,
A la carte kind
yeah,
of a
man,
thing.
Those
dude,
places
it's
are
been
still
too
really good
cold.
though.
Yeah,
I,
it's been too
yeah,
cold
that place is worth
to
a
travel
visit.
anywhere. Yeah. In
Mhm.
fact, I posted La Taguara on my personal story, and your wife actually said she loved that place.
Yeah, that place has really good food.
Yeah, and
Really.
I went to their one of their recent locations that's been open, so that's good, man. It was really
Oh,
good.
hey, congratulations! You just celebrated your anniversary. Probably a week past that now. 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's where I was at Amara. Dude, you are the worst listener. You are the worst listener.
I'm
Hey,
sorry,
for real,
folks.
congrats, Luis. You should
Thank you.
start.
Wow, man.
See, I'm all substance. You guys are but the
I
fine
think
details. I'm like, oh, you had an anniversary.
like 5 or 6 minutes passed in between me saying, "Oh yeah, I went to Amara to celebrate my anniversary," and like then Phill being like, "Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention." But nevertheless, Phill, thank you. It means a lot. um,
I'm dying out
yeah,
here. Jesus.
Juan, I definitely got to say I completely disagree with your point that we made a couple weeks ago, saying that you don't see Madison as a city. I think it's a city that's thriving, alive, and well. It is.
Not a
It's really
walkable
fun.
city.
What?
It's like LA. It's not a walkable city.
I don't think Madison
But
was
aren't most?
I think it was just like a big town they just kept adding on.
Yeah, that's my
No,
point. See, that's my point.
no.
It's
You know,
You
Bro,
you got
like
to go
one question I have
downtown.
about Madison. Is it true that every time you walk in, Tame Impala starts playing?
I know you mentioned that. Like I think it was no, not last episode, but the episode before that.
It's
No, man,
all the hipsters live
it's
there.
bro,
yeah. A lot
downtown
of
has
hipsters
like
do live
two
here.
restaurants, dog.
That
hey,
is not
bro,
true.
bro,
There's
that's
a
his.
ton of stuff downtown.
It is so
There.
true.
Ian's
Like it
Pizza.
That's a
has
little
like
dark
No.
age.
street.
Ian's
Like
Pizza.
That's where they
It's
started.
it's the best.
It is. Yeah. It's there's so much more stuff to do here that it's like amazing that you're like, how is this not a walkable city?
bro, I
Like
lived
I
there
could
Surprisingly,
for a
walk
year. I lived there for a year. You lived there for a few weeks.
see,
and you lived like
And
north of the
and
town.
I got annoyed of it that fast. Like yeah,
I
it
think you might be just a homebody. I think you appreciate a smaller town over anything else.
that's
bro,
a
you're more
lie.
silent body now.
That's a lie.
Yeah, there we go. What a callback. What a
Yeah, bro.
callback.
How can you say
But
that?
more,
We literally just had like a few minute conversation about Chicago, and
yeah,
like
but
Yeah,
I
Chicago
like even in
sucks.
talk about how
Chicago,
much
like
I love Milwaukee and Chicago all the time.
dude, I spent so much time in Milwaukee. There is no way you could walk around Milwaukee. No way.
It's
You have to drive over fucking buildings to
it's
get
more
place to
it's
place.
you can stay in a neighborhood and stay there all day and find stuff to do.
Couldn't you apply that philosophy to anything?
I think we just got kind of like spoiled by Chicago because Chicago is like the third biggest city in the whole country. And then Milwaukee and Madison just kind of seem like small towns that have a
Well,
lot.
yeah, no, for sure.
Mm.
Comparing the World Cup to a high school soccer game. I mean, there's going to be differences.
Yeah, but you can
Like,
still find a
well,
lot of things to do at both places. And surprisingly, besides
yeah,
this podcast, I've had conversation with other friends like just bringing up Madison in conversation. Like, yeah, Madison's like it's a pretty much a nice city and whatnot. And then it sparked me to ask this question: is it a city or is it more of like mini city,
Mhm.
more of a suburb city, kind of like uh, a tourist trap. They have these places in
Yeah.
Arizona where they just build
See, I
suburbs
feel like
and
those
like
things are
parking
different,
lots
but I
and
want
all
to
this
hear what
stuff,
he's gonna say.
like outlet malls and shit like that. And I think
Yeah.
Madison's above that. There's
Like
there's a bunch of
Madison
shopping
has
places
nice
and
things.
suburbs.
It was just kind of like kept spreading out instead of going up.
Like the gardens are nice. I think it's called the Old Bridge Gardens.
The zoo is
The zoo
nice.
is nice.
Like it's got
Um,
nice things,
yeah, it's got two things,
but it just
like
kept spreading out.
See, what I'm really more interested in is the
Sure.
spas. I'm looking for those spas, those
I'm
full
looking for a
service
deprivation
spas
tank.
in Madison. I'm sure they can find
Yeah,
something.
I'm looking for one.
have you
I'll
not
see if
found
I'm able to
one?
find.
Because there's like
Have
10 in
I
Milwaukee.
deprivation tanks?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
select.
I wanna do one. I think it'd be fun.
See,
Yeah,
the
I
issue with
haven't
the
done one, but
public.
I've looked them up, and there's a lot that show up in Milwaukee.
See, I looked that up
Mm.
too, but a lot of people jerk off in those. That's one thing not a lot of people consider. Yeah, like if you go into these public use one, there may have been the last person pleasuring himself or herself, which is hot, I guess.
I
Which
hear there's like 1,000 or like 1,000 pounds of salt in each that goes into those. So like, dude, you'll be fine. That shit'll kill off whatever is swimming around in there.
insecticide, just kill it right away.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, way to ruin that experience.
Well, that sounds pretty good that you're fitting right into Madison and whatnot. And we've all been through a lot of big changes at the end of 2022. It's been quite a remarkable year. With our co-host Luis moving to Madison, Juan getting married, finally
Mhm.
tying the knot after so many years. Leo being part of the Bro Tastes team. I guess you can say that I'm joining part of the Bro Tastes team this year, more definitive.
Yeah.
What old?
Yeah.
I got arrested this year. That's a big milestone for me, I guess.
That was a big milestone, and you
Mhm.
got unarrested.
I got arrested and unarrested. Yes, yes, yes. And
That's crazy to think about.
and just like other big things in our lives,
Hmm.
media, which is what we talk about every week.
Yeah.
Every single week, something new happens, and it's hard not to because the world's ever so changing. Like today, fresh off the press, President Zelensky from Ukraine visited the White House, and he got support from both left and right sides, which is kind of crazy because at the beginning of this year, they just went into war with Russia. Russia
I
did
gotta
the
say,
whole.
he looks so good too. He looks like fucking Spock. Do you see him? Do you see the pictures?
No.
He's always wearing the same
Yeah,
green sweater.
he's wearing something kind of similar to your color shade, Luis. Is that like a green?
Yeah. This is green. This is
That's
entirely
that's
green.
Yeah, he's wearing something like that, but like a little bit more I guess like
of a V-neck.
Cody. And
Mm.
dude, he was looking sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sharp, like Al Sharpton. And it's crazy at the beginning of the year, like we were just saying, Russia and all that stuff, and
Yo,
kind of Republicans didn't stand up and applaud, but those are the
Yeah.
Republicans.
dude, what I find interesting about that situation is like the people talking about how Putin could be sick and shit, and like how he may potentially not be doing well, and this is like his way of trying to cement a legacy, and how if he like were to die, like there's not really like a very in place system for who would be leader, and that like there may be like a few different warlords that fight over like the leadership of like that whole region. And if that shit happens, god damn, like oh my god, like
That'd be
imagine
kind of fun.
Guarantee.
imagine different warlords with different silos that have like atomic bombs, like oh lord.
Dude, that
That'd
would be
be like
sick. What are you talking
Naruto.
about?
It'd be a badass anime. The battle
I
for
was gonna
Ukraine.
say, can you think of the anime content?
I play Modern Warfare 3. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna go down.
You're ready.
Yo, are you guys
But
familiar with like
That's crazy.
that one dictator dude of like Chechnya, Kadyrov? He's like a big name in the UFC.
he's he's like the
Yeah.
prime minister of
I don't know that he's the prime minister, but like I know that he's like the main like warlord of that area, and Yeah, he not. I was just wondering if you guys knew about him because of the UFC, but we don't have to talk about him.
No, I think
No.
if I know who you're talking about, he released a propaganda video where like it was him and a bunch of military dudes driving around in like SUVs, and he had a machine gun, like one of those big like light machine guns. He was just shooting into the air. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, but he's like the ally of Putin. That
Yes,
he's
yes,
very
very much
fake.
so. He's very much so.
He's like fat. He's got a beard, and he's very against gay people. He's like
Oh
had a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whole purge against
Oh
them in
yo, I forgot
2014.
to mention. Yeah, that's speaking of which. Apparently,
That's him, I believe.
they
Yeah.
made it illegal in Russia now to like to say
What?
you're gay or like display like a relationship between two men or two women.
Well, they probably are doing that to avoid the war. Like, if I was gay, I'd go to jail instead of the war. You know,
True.
this is the Russian Muhammad Ali. Instead of coming out as Muslim, they're coming out as gay.
Fair.
This is brilliant. You know, man, if we get drafted, I might have to go with that excuse.
That-
They,
that's what I was gonna say, dude.
I think they're allowed
I
to
can't
fight.
go to war.
That would be a natural fit for you, Phil. For sure. Very believable.
I'll be the
Yeah, I
the
agree.
the sergeant, the commander of the gay battalion.
You'd be the big gay Phil of jail.
Bro, they fired me
That's
for having too
crazy.
many relations with my underlings.
Too many relations with the guards, bro.
Yeah.
Oh
Folks,
boys.
folks, man, that's the kind of comedy we got going on here. And speaking of gay marriages and all this stuff, California was this close to repealing the act of same-sex marriage, which I was like bonkers.
What is
You know, we
what is that? What are you talking about?
California had a they went to vote to repeal the act of same-sex marriages a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago at this point actually, and it's just passed barely with enough numbers that same-sex marriages are allowed thing. And on the same ballot, they were doing interracial marriage. You sent me that article a couple of weeks ago about interracial marriages being
Yeah.
like on the back burner, and it's pretty funny because like most of these Republicans, you know, most conservative dudes can't get, you know, can't find a good wife here in America, so they go overseas to like the Philippines and they get himself a little
Dudes who
honey.
can't get
They
laid
come
and go
back.
looking for that. Wait, didn't you do that, homie?
Well, no, hold on there. I went there to teach little
You
kids.
found love. You didn't go over there for that purpose, right? You just ended up finding love.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's actually kind of
Mhm.
beautiful when you put it that way.
I went there with the heart of gold, and I went there and I left there with a 128-pound Malaysian chick.
Hey, rattle off some more stories of the year though.
You
I
know,
know you.
same
I
like
know
the
you.
Bills
I
that
know you had. I know you had yours ready to go.
We should start
I
doing
just kind of I kind of mentioned some already. We started the Ukraine war at the beginning of this year, and Zelensky since visited the White House a whole year later. Roe v. Wade got overturned, just like the same-sex marriage almost got overturned, which is a pretty big one.
That
A
is
lot of
true.
people forgot about that.
I don't
Women
think
don't have
anybody
the right
forgot
to
about that.
autonomous body anymore. So-
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Well, I don't see celebrities making a big hoorah about it. I remember Billie Eilish canceled the whole Texas show because because of men. Because of men. That was another big thing that passed there. A lot of celebrities died. LL Cool J died. Olivia Newton-John from Greece.
Donald Trump is losing his grip on his party.
Oh, the FBI raided the Trump Margo Largo, which was another big thing that happened this year for
And they
nuclear codes.
and they recommended charges against him with the January 6th committee.
Yeah, but no charges against Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's husband got beaten with a hammer. There's some things about whether he was in his tidy whities or not, but that's up for debate. OnlyFans took off this year, as always.
Was
I
OnlyFans
believe,
a thing last year? That was a thing last year.
OnlyFans has been a thing, yeah.
well, I mean, I just got my debit card this year, so it's a thing for me this year. So it's been great.
Bro, shout out your
And,
favorite content creators on OnlyFans, Phil.
Definitely Nakado Avocado. If you like a thing about mukbangs, if you want to see a dude get stuffed while he's eating stuffing, that's the channel to go down.
Wait, does he get fucked while he eats?
Oh yeah,
No, for real?
That's why
Really?
he's number. That's why he's in the top 5.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
shout out Nick Cotto Avocado.
I'm waiting for AOC's to get out there.
That would probably be the best way for her to capitalize on like her.
Look here, brother. Once the 2024 election comes in, and
Yeah.
the big nasty Republican red wave comes by, we're gonna need a hero, and that hero is gonna be Bernie Sanders. All right,
Oh,
and Bernie Sanders,
dead.
he's gonna make
dirty like that. Let him relax.
he's gonna make OnlyFans providable to every single Americans in this country.
You know what?
He's gonna make OnlyFans free.
Exactly. See, Donald Trump took away
Fuck college. Give us
escorts and
OnlyFans.
Backpage and all that shit. Now we're gonna
Exactly.
get OnlyFans distributed, taught to the kids. Bernie Sanders.
Phill, speaking of porn, did you see
Get
that
him in the office.
Republican Senator Mike Lee tried to pass a bill banning internet porn in the United States?
Did it work?
No.
I support that bill. It's ruined my life.
Sounds like it's more about self-control than anything else. It's ruined my relationship with women. I expect them all to be tied up with bondage when I get home.
Uh-huh. I expect them
You
to have the
sicko.
ball gag ready for me.
How come my dick isn't 12 inches in black? I don't understand.
Clearly, this is Zuckerberg's fault.
Exactly. They're lying to us.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, those are some of the big news that passed. That big laws that came into effect.
We could
Well,
probably play hot potato, right? You don't have to name all of yours off. We can have please give us a little preview of some of the yearly stuff
Yeah.
that he had.
Yeah, my focus, we all took kind of different focuses. For me, it was movies and shows, and Juan, I think you were in charge of music.
Wait. You were in charge of movies and shows?
Yeah.
I thought you were looking up school shootings, the most memorable ones of 2022.
Bro,
And
Sandy
folks,
Hook.
that's
Sandy
the
Hook made a
best-
comeback.
Oh yeah, see, that's a dark horse. People were like Uvalde, the Buffalo school shooting, some other Florida shooting, but everyone forgot about the sleepy, silent Sandy Hook.
Yeah, who knew that 11 years later we'd be talking about it again?
Mm.
And that
What
I
what
think-
movies? What movies and shows did you get into though?
I just want to go on record and say that my condolences are with the families of the Uvalde and Sandy Hook shootings. I just want to put that out there before I continue.
Before we skim through that.
Yes.
Just a heads up.
So everybody sent me their favorite movies. The only one who didn't was Leo. So Leo, I can actually open up the floor to you, and you can tell me some of the stuff you watched.
All right. Well, for me, favorite
Top
movie-
5 in no order.
All right. In no order, then it's like
Speaking to the mic, homie.
I really like the Wakanda Forever was a pretty good movie. The new Black
Ooh,
Panther.
Mm-hmm.
I also really liked Top Gun Maverick. Completely forgot about that, but that came out earlier this year. Really good movie, really fun movie. I really liked. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the live action Pinocchio that was on Netflix.
The Guillermo del Toro one.
That was an interesting movie. Like it had a lot of stuff going on for it.
It was also like really adult,
Yeah, it was like very dark themes, and then like
very it had like
Pinocchio.
politics and
Yeah, it was like during World War One, and
Yeah.
Pinocchio was like screaming that he liked the war and his nose wasn't growing. I was like, oh, all right. I'm just
yeah,
I was like, all right. And then my last two
solid movie, guys.
was Elvis, and honestly, I only really know Elvis music just because my favorite movie, like of all time when I was a kid, was Lilo and Stitch. All his, and then now
Hell
watching
yeah.
Elvis movie, like seeing like all the songs like live, it was like pretty cool. And
Yeah.
Bullet Train, I found Bullet Train very entertaining. It was fun. It was funny. It got kind of like sad at points, and also like more intense, but it was a good movie.
Okay.
That sounds like a pretty good roundup. I'm surprised you saw anything. I think you more of a Netflix and chill kind of guy. I feel like if there's a movie going on, Leo's getting nasty, kind of thing. That's like your Batman call, your Becking call. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're putting a movie on. We're getting it on right
Let's
now.
say, oh shit, Knives Out sequels on Netflix. Calls up the girlfriend, hey, you ready to get fucked?
I'll show you a glass onion over here. Get over here, baby.
What?
Get over.
That is funny, Phil.
But no, I gotta check out the Pinocchio movie. It sounds pretty good.
Dude, Guillermo
Yeah.
del Toro, man.
It's on Netflix.
Mhm.
Actually, Juan, we can transition to your stuff because you also had the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio in your top five.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shout out do you have my top 5 in front of you? Can you shout out?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you didn't give me five, you gave me four because you actually don't watch movies.
Or TV that much in general? Because I gave you
I
0.
don't know what you do. I don't know what it is you do throughout your day. You gave me 0 TV shows and you gave me 4. No, but you gave me 3 movies. And then like a couple hours later, you're like, "Oh, throw Pinocchio on there." I'm like, "Oh, you must have just watched it."
Yes.
Was it just so you have Smile, this the horror suspense movie. Yeah, the
Not
movie
bad.
Nope.
Loved it.
Nope.
Smile is super
Love
creepy,
Nope.
guys.
Love it.
Smile
Love
is
Nope.
super creepy.
You have the
Nope.
recent
Nope
Hellraiser.
is awesome.
And we already talked about Pinocchio, so I'd actually like you to talk about Smile if you could.
Yeah, I mean, the premise of Smile is that like there is this kind of curse going about, like this chain of people who are all finding people to hunt down, and if they don't kill them fast enough, this curse is gonna cause them to suicide themselves in a really like manic and creepy manner where you're like smiling the whole time and you just like slit your throat in front of somebody else, and whoever that person is that you kill yourself in front of, that curse will now pass on to, right? And that's like the premise of it. It's pretty basic, pretty simple, but it's just a great suspenseful like movie. The music, to me, like one of the things that I find like that really can make a horror movie is like the music of it. If that shit can give you anxiety, like and you are like only an hour into it, or you still feel affected a few hours later, that's how you know it was a fucking good movie. And that movie, personally, like the soundtrack just makes you feel like you're there the whole time. It gave me anxiety, so I feel like it did a really good job of that. Other than that, though,
I mean, if we're going by your record of like what makes a good movie, then for me, Lightyear was a good movie, especially when those two like lady astronauts went into the room together. I was like, oh my god, is this a kids movie? Oh no. So like, I mean, if anxiety, if anxiety is the
shut
thing
up,
that
Tucker. Shut the fuck up, Tucker Carlson.
it's like they're
For
girls,
me,
they're kissing each other.
for me, when a movie lacks music in the background, like when you're in when they're like creaking down the hall, or when they're like waiting, there's like the POV of like the attacker. Yeah. And all you hear is like the character breathing in the scene. That to me gives me like way more.
That too.
Yeah. I think overall your point is sound in a like the soundtrack and like how they score the movie makes a big difference. And it sounds like Smile does a really good job at that.
Really builds the environment, the ambiance that it's trying to deliver. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's a good movie too. I saw that too this year. Smile.
Did you watch Nope?
Oh, I love
did.
Nope.
Nope was in my top 5. Yeah, Nope was in my top 5. My top 5 are Nope, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman, Bullet Train, and Elvis.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I love the
I
Batman.
gotta get to that All at Once movie. I remember
so good.
I remember you were good.
Dude, I completely forgot about the Batman. I should have put instead of Wakanda, but that was a
Yo, the Wakanda movie was great though.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was fun.
It was pretty good.
Don't forget to give a shout out to Morbius.
Yeah, it's Morbin Time. I would like to shout out Morbius because only that movie could become famous because of a meme. A tweet, in fact, not even like a tweet that said my favorite part in the movie Morbius is when they say it's Morbin Time. And then that caused Sony to be like, people want to see this movie again, let's put it in the theaters. And then they lost money.
They brought it back in the summer.
Crazy. It cost them money to put it back in theaters.
Somebody went back to theater. They lost money because of a meme.
People meme them
Yeah.
and losing money. That's so great.
Oh my God. Like, especially on TikTok, like it was crazy the amount of people who were on TikTok just like making compilations.
It made $1 gajillion. Like, what was it?
Yeah, they're like, how is this movie not in the top 5 best movies of all time? Like it's a fucking lie.
See,
And then,
it's funny that the same formula that you're talking about is what Minions Rise of Guru used.
I was about to say Minions as the joke, as the meme, it didn't hit my top 5 because of like like it was a fun kids movie, but the fact that movie became so extravagantly popular because of like TikTok, Instagram, and just like tweets and memes. I mean, yeah, exactly. Feeling despicable because my money grew. I mean, like so many quotable tweets that came from that movie. Dude, not even the movie itself, but just like people hyping up that movie.
Dude, Minions Rise of Guru is like, like Peaky Blinders for kids. It's just kids going around saying banana and whatever they do. Ba 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 baran.
And also like the fact that people like were wearing suits to go to the movie. Like
they dressed up.
Yeah, when has that ever happened? One movie that I definitely do want to talk about that no one has talked about yet is the movie Nope, which most of us have in our top 5. That movie, just very creepy, very interesting, and even when you find out it's about an alien movie, you're like, okay, yeah. I didn't actually personally see the Jaws references and everything. I just saw it for the creepy movie that it was and really enjoyed that aspect. And like by far, the scene that I enjoyed the most was the weird chimpanzee scene. How absolutely scary that is and terrifying that must have been. And like the character which it happens to is playing it down, talking about an SNL sketch. Israel was just like so funny. And you're like, this is the most traumatizing thing I've ever seen. Like, how are you still an actor?
Especially to go at it at such a young age too, a young small kid. And also, that movie has multiple layers. Aliens, black cowboys, Asian cowboys. It just keeps going, man.
I was gonna add how fun the movie was, though.
I loved it.
It was to me, it wasn't necessarily like scary. Like it was fun. It was like a fun thriller, like where it happened to have some creepy shit going on as well. But like it was more like creepy in the way that like, oh, there's a big force thing. There's like a big Bigfoot in the type shit,
Mm-hmm. And it really displays the connection of like we have with animals, because the whole theme is like you never look the animal in the eye. You got to respect the animal and give its boundaries. The old Wild West, crazy. Philosophy kind of thing. Before we move on from Nope, one quick question since we all seen it here pretty much. I don't know if Leo's seen it, but the ending. Does he live or does he die?
I was thinking about it so we talked about it on the episode. We talked about it on this podcast a couple of weeks ago. Like, is he alive or is he not? And so I looked for the clues when I was watching it, when you said it, and I'm like, no, he's 100% alive. Like, no question about it. He's alive.
You think so?
I know so. Yes. One thing I definitely want to talk about in the movie Nope is there's this horrible scene, and I'm wondering how they filmed it, where people get sucked up and they're inside the alien getting swallowed, and as they're like being eaten, like the flesh of the alien is like coming around them. They're like in this tube. They're like in such a water slide, and it's like coming around them, like wrapping around them. And going back to Juan's point about a movie soundtrack, you would just know the alien was in the sky near you because you would hear people screaming the whole time.
Oh yeah,
that part was so
terrifying,
eerie and creepy because you would hear nothing and then you'd hear ah,
and it'd be like a movie cloud.
And you're like, That part to me was just so creepy.
Mhm.
There's no, there's people above you just getting swallowed alive, and then it made like a crunching sound when it like would finish them off, and then you wouldn't hear anything after that. It was
Nope.
but Phil, why don't you close off the movies
You know,
with your
I
top?
this year, because at the end of last year, I was pretty, at the end of 2021, I was pretty depressed. I was like, I stayed at home very much, went out, tried to do as much things I can, but was held back by my depression. So 2022, I made the effort to go out to more movies, to more shows, etc.
Yeah,
Even by myself, just to get out there and I ain't getting any younger. I got to go out there and explore more things, more content for the podcast. So I went there to as many movies as I could go, and I saw a couple of stinkers, a couple of real bad movies this year, right? And I think the one that like took the helm for like surprisingly good was the movie Men by A24. I'm a big fan of the A24 studio and their type of
mm,
films they produce. It's kind of artsy, fartsy. Some of the big notable ones are Heredity, Midsummer's. It's one of the big ones. So they got a
everything,
couple.
everywhere, all at once was
Is that A24
A24.
too?
Yeah,
Beautiful. Wow. See, I love that
hmm
one too. See, another banger by A24. And yeah, I saw the movie Men, and it's kind of a scary movie. It's if you're into the artistic, like I gotta watch it again because I don't know what the fuck. Like, am I supposed to be rooting for this person or feel bad for this person? So it was definitely a movie that I saw this year that like I had to go back and rewatch it to understand it. But if I had to take a credit for the best movie of this year for me, it had to be the Batman. Just due to the sole fact that I saw the movie in theaters 5 different times. It was so good. And
God damn.
and
Why?
it's just what Juan was saying. It's the soundtrack that really made it for me. The first 5 minutes, the first bit of dialogue, it starts off with Thursday, October 31st. And it's just like you hear the smoke going off and like the lights of the bat symbol, like, and it just builds the ambiance. And then you have the criminals going, and like it just keeps building and building and building tension. And then
Yeah,
finally it gets to the climax of like where like the drums kick in and like the sirens are kicking in and like the bad guys are looking around like, holy shit, where's Batman? It made me believe that Batman was behind me, but the fuck me up is like, I saw where you were looking on your phone last night. Like just
I love
beat
that
me,
scene.
boom, beat me with an elbow to my back,
I
And he
generally
was just
love that.
mhm.
Yeah, that those first 10 minutes of the movie where it's like,
Oh,
I'm in the dark, no one knows where I am. Like I could be anywhere hiding. And then yeah, you finally get to the subway scene where he's down. I mean, phenomenal.
and he's like,
Phenomenal.
Robert Pattinson comes out of the darkness. He's like, stop Asian hate. Well, it was an Asian guy they were beating up, so that's clearly why Robert Pattinson's out of the whole city of Gotham, where it shows crime happening in every block. Batman
Around
picked
every
the
corner.
yeah, Batman picked the one Asian guy to protect. He's like, not enough of this. No
Dude,
more
shout out
Asian
Batman.
hate.
Shout out Robert Battenbat.
Yeah, and to live up with the legacy of the Batman, this was the end of this year. We saw the end of Kevin Conroy to kind of solidify the fact that the Batman legacy is behind us. And
Yeah.
it was I also saw the Zack Snyder cut that was came out at the beginning of this year. And it's funny that the Snyder cut is like the end of the DCU. The James Gunn came in, the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and
Yeah.
it's taken over DC. So I have big hopes for them to see where they go in
I'm
2023
hopeful.
with the
I'm
DC
hopeful
franchise.
too. Yeah,
You
because it was just such a hot mess beforehand. Like they didn't know what they wanted to do. It does suck that you hear that Henry Cavill is guaranteed not to come back, but I think
Yeah.
I think with the DC universe, because people like Juan consider themselves better than Marvel, and so they refuse to watch it. But then they'll
Mhm.
watch like DC movies saying like, "Oh, this is much better."
It's so
What
Um,
DC
darker and
movies do I watch?
grittier. It's for
exactly.
adults.
Yeah, but then you would have the problem where like you'd get two Aquaman movies and then no,
I've never
like
watched a
no,
DC movie.
you never watched a
you,
DC movie?
I
I
haven't
was
watched
start.
Batman, Aquaman, I don't
You
even know
ever
who
seen?
DC people are.
You ever seen the Batman?
No,
Did you not watch the most recent Batman? I thought
no,
we talked about it.
no. You guys did. I didn't watch it.
Damn. I
Wow.
recommend it. You'd be like, that's me. I'm that guy.
It's a
I'm
good movie.
Batman.
Yeah, very relatable.
Yeah, exactly. You project your personality onto him.
I'm that guy right there.
Yeah,
But no,
Juan, do you
it
want
was
$1
to?
billion and a few dead parents, and I'll relate a lot.
Exactly. Juan, do you want to round it up and finish on music?
Absolutely. All right.
Here,
So,
if you don't mind, can I start with the music selection? Because it just piggybacks off what the movie I just saw. And like
yeah,
the end of the year of
that,
2022, my most
that is
played
true.
album from this year was the Batman theme. It's
The
pretty
Batman
ridiculous.
soundtrack.
Yeah, the OST. And it's so great because just like we were describing the first 10 minutes of the movie, each score builds a scene up and like it's so great. The Riddler's theme is so like chaotic, it's crazy. And then you have the Catwoman theme. It's so smooth and jazzy and seductive. And then you have the Batman theme, which is like a song of redemption,
Yeah.
retribution. You're like, everything wrong I've made in my life, I can fix it right now with this Batman song. And the best thing about the theme song, the OST, the soundtrack, it's made by the same dude who made Ratatouille. So you already know it's composed with heart and passion.
Hans
And
Zimmer made it, right?
no, it was Michael Giuliani, the same guy
Nice.
behind the Ratatouille, and I believe the movie Up, which is another banger of an OST, original soundtrack. I believe OST
My
soundtrack.
bad, my bad. I was wrong.
That's okay.
So,
It won't be the
no,
and it
other,
won't be the last time. Welcome to 2023, folks. I can't wait for the big year. Come on now.
okay. Thank you,
What about
Phil.
you, Juan?
I was gonna say one of the most interesting things that I noticed about like our music selection, because what I did was I crowdsourced everybody's like top 5 of the year or like top 10, whether that be
Mm-hmm.
songs or albums or artists or whatnot. And then I just
Yep, yep.
kind of did had some observations. I went around and listened to some stuff that I hadn't heard of before. And I thought it was really cool that 3 out of 4 of us had 2 albums that were the same, which would be Dawn FM and Bad Bunny's Un Verano Sin Ti. And like 3 out of 4 of us had that. Um, I just thought that that was really interesting. Why do you guys, I wanted to like kind of bounce it to you guys. Why did you guys enjoy those two? Have you guys always listened to them? Yeah. What did you think, Leo?
Well, I really liked Un Verano Sin Ti just because, like, dude, all the songs were like good for some reason. Like, some of them were like sadder, and you're like, damn, it kind of sucks. And then, like, all of a sudden, they're like super poppy, and then you're like, want to listen to it in the summer. And it was like hot outside, dude. Like,
It was a great summer album. It was like
yeah.
very tropical and happy feeling. Like it made you want to like go for a drive in the middle of the night type of music.
And it was released at the right time, just before summer. Everyone's getting the summer vibes, and like
Mhm.
even the logo of it has a sad heart, so it affects like the sad boys out there like me.
What about
Yeah.
Don FM, Leo? Why were you a fan of that?
I just like, there's a couple songs on there I really like, specifically like Take My Breath, where you're just like,
Take
dancing.
my breath away.
It was like there's a couple songs on there where I was just like, damn, because I've never been like someone that just like listens to like complete albums. Usually, like I'll find songs like randomly or just like hearing them like somewhere else.
Did you do that for
Like,
that album?
yeah, usually like I didn't listen to the full album until like I started hearing the songs around, and I'm like, all right, let me go listen to it. And it was pretty good. Like a lot of the songs that I listened to, I forgot what the other ones were. Was it Heartless was on there?
No,
Or no,
Heartless
that
wasn't on.
No.
previous
It
one,
was
but
Gasoline.
The song of Quincy Jones or whatever the fuck the
Yeah.
song is called.
yeah,
That's
that
a really
one.
good one too. I like that one.
I was like, man, these are pretty
Oh,
good.
speaking of the weekend, my favorite thing about the weekend is when he was a cameo in that Righteous Gemstone movie, bro. Adam Sandler's girlfriend in that movie. Hey,
When he's in Uncut
Maron.
Oh
Gems.
yeah, I do remember that. That was a
Hey, yeah, the weekend's in Uncut Gems. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say the chick that he hooks up with. Hey, Maron.
Yeah, Julia
Julia
Fox.
Fox, Kanye West's ex bae.
I
Take
mean,
that, Pete Davidson, you scumbag. You scumbag.
in
You
addition
10
to
inch
that,
freak.
I was gonna say, guys, in addition to that shit, I would probably say, uh, Luis, you had some of the more interesting music choices, and by interesting I mean like good. Like I really enjoyed the actual life Fred again. Um,
Yeah.
that was really good. I mean, obviously you have Un Verano Sin Ti and Don FM on there as well. I haven't heard Heroes and Villains Metro Boomin, but I want to get to it. He did that recent mashup, right, with The Weeknd and 21 Savage.
That album just came out.
Yeah, Creepin'.
Yeah.
That single is really cool, so it makes me want to check out the rest of it. Is that so who is Metro Boomin the producer,
Metro Boomin, yeah,
Calvin Harris type, or what is he?
yeah. No, not Kelvin Harris type, but like it's kind of hard to listen to hip hop and not hear one of his songs come out. Like if Young Metro doesn't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. That's like one of the most iconic like sound producer bites. So or producer tags is what they call them. Like so yeah, no, I thought the album just came out I think a week ago from when we're recording. And dude, it's great. It's got a ton of mashups on there. It's super fun. There's one song on there, Creepin', like you mentioned, that's like a super sad, like if you're gonna cheat on me, like do it behind my back, don't let me know, with The Weeknd and 21 Savage. But then there's also other songs like Metro Spider and Can't Save, which is Future just saying like I can't save these hoes. Like
Oh, bro, that's my anthem, man. That's me.
and you know I know Leo said he doesn't listen to albums all the way through. This album has transitions in between songs, so you can just play it all the way through, and it's fucking perfect. So, really like the album. Definitely gonna keep listening to it for 2023. I do want to touch on. We already talked about Umbedano FM. So, the one I definitely want to talk about is Actual Life 3, which is Fred again, who's a DJ, and I think the album's really good. It's got a lot of cool songs on it that are just like different and fun, and definitely something that you can listen to when you want to like get going, when you want to party. And there's a few songs on there that are like, oh, I could just put this on in the background and like hang out. But really, highly recommend that Actual Life 3 for anybody who's want to try something new and something electronic.
But how is it on like the sexual side? You know me, I'm a very sexual being.
Yeah, it's got not none of that. Yeah, none
None
of
of
that.
that. Oh,
Yeah, probably not the album for
okay.
you. No,
Something you can
no,
bop with
probably
your friends, but not bop into your friends, kind of a
uh-uh.
thing. Okay.
No. What was the fifth one I sent you on? I can't remember now.
Let me look at it. Her law strike 21.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, her
Uh,
Oh,
loss was
Drake.
one of the ones I did want to bring up
great.
that Phil had actually sent to me of all people was Salvatore uh
Ganache.
Gangachi.
Nachi. Dude,
Yeah.
that album was fucking fun, dude.
I actually like that album a lot too. Yeah.
That
It came
album was
out this month.
a lot of
Uh,
fun. Culturally Appropriate by Salvatore Ganacci. Dude,
mhm.
just the first song and dance. Dude, like it's roasting you, dog, as you're at the club. Like, oh
Oh
man.
yeah.
I love that. I'm here
Yes.
for some shit.
Salvatore
And
is known for making like super like crazy weird videos. And I'm gonna watch it right now. Super weird, crazy video. And just like random, like he's just such a random DJ.
I think
Like
one
he
of his
has this
popular songs is like trying to like fuck his grandma or like try to like
Step
make
Grandma. I
love
saw
to your
that.
grandma, step
It
grandma.
was
Yeah,
called
there we go.
Step Grandma, yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that. And then to like wrap up the music part, I did want to give a shout out to Kendrick's latest album because it was announced like as nominated for a Grammy, and he's the only rapper along that has gotten 4 consecutive nominations for
God damn.
album of the year ever since like the Good Kid, Mad City days to Pimp a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butterfly. Like all of them have been like critically acclaimed. The only other person that's ever done that is Kanye West. Funny enough, but they were not consecutive. They were not consecutive. So like the fact that I
Yeah,
mean
he got too busy
it's so
hating a
consistent,
certain religion
goddamn,
in the middle of the.
Yeah, he
I have to give a
I
shout
think
out.
that's yeah, and I listened to it one time all the way through for the show, but a lot of people said it's his best work. Juan, would you agree?
Um, I mean, I think it's his most mature work. So like
Yeah.
at this age in my life, I would agree with that. maybe at a different age in my life, I wouldn't have agreed with that. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I just think
okay.
it depends on where you are in your life. Like if you're like out there like hoping for more aggro shit, like it's probably not for you. It's you're probably not going to say it's his best work. But you know, like he's talking about fucking generational trauma and like overcoming that and yeah, like there's a lot of very mature themes on that. So yeah, if you're not into that, then it's probably not for you. But yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think it's super cool how it almost sounds like a theater rap, like as I was
Yeah,
calling it before. Like you almost
like
feel
Hamilton.
Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna say like Hamilton.
I don't know if like Hamilton, but like I almost feel like he was in the Black Panther universe type shit. Like that could also like there's like a lot of tribal sounds to it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
Well, he did work on the first soundtrack, so I mean, it
exactly.
makes sense that
Yeah.
it sounds similar. Interesting. I'm gonna have to. There's a couple things that I want to listen to again. Definitely that Salvador Ganacci album, but I'll check Kendrick Lamar again.
Yeah, like
I need to just like,
995, Count Me Out.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
that father's not father stretch my hands, but what's that song where he references? It's with Sampha.
Yeah, I can't
That's the song that I really like. I don't know. Sampha's great. So
I
anytime that
remember yeah, I remember
Father Time,
see there
yeah,
you go.
Yeah, we
that
got a
one I
lot of
really
big
like.
things to look forward to in 2023. Hopefully, more Kendrick Lamar and more Salvador Giganchi.
Yeah, gentlemen, it's great to see you guys again. I hope you guys are all doing well. You'll be
Mm-hmm.
seeing more of me going forward. I know I've been away, but we're back and we're alive and we're better than ever.
Yep.
So, yeah, really excited for some of the stuff that we got going on in the future, and also excited to see how you guys progress as humans and as people.
One last thing to close the podcast on as like a little
What's up?
debate question that I want to pose to you guys. So I recently had to like renew like a food license thing, and I had to take a safety course on
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. And one of the things that it taught me, that
Don't drink and drive.
I guess should have been like pretty common or common sense, was that apparently like bigger people, as in more body fat, like the faster you get drunk, faster, not like slower. You would,
Really?
yeah, because like the body fat, like does not help in any way process the alcohol. So I don't know. There's something there where there's like less actual body, like it's not counting the body fat as part of the body. You know what I mean? Like if somebody is 200 pounds and they're like 35% body fat, like only like 130 pounds of that is lean mass versus somebody who's a little bit leaner but has more of that lean mass, like will digest it faster, even though the other person is much bigger and looks chunkier. And yeah, like I just
That's very interesting. I
thought
had
that
no
was really
idea.
interesting. And
So
what
the
do you guys
bigger
think
you
about that?
are, the quicker you'll get drunk. Is that what you're trying
Yeah,
to
the
say?
more body fat you have, the faster you will get drunk.
That's bonkers because like Andrew the Giant, everyone knows Andre the Giant. He's the
Yes.
guy behind Obey,
Yeah.
Streetwear, and all that shit. Famous
Yes,
stories about him getting drunk,
but
and it's like he
but
would need 2 cases of
I don't
32
think he was
packs,
known as
two bre-
ridiculous that Phil.
No, he was not
He
super
was
fat.
known as
No,
All
a
muscle.
a gigantic person of big muscles and big proportions,
who
not
was
just
insanely
like
strong.
yeah, not
I
just
have
like 40%
giantism.
body fat.
That is, I had no idea, but that's a very interesting fact. I'm glad I learned that.
Andre the Giant.
I guess I was hoping that we would get a little bit more into a spicy argument here, Phil. I need you
So
to drive it.
No,
Tell,
no,
tell,
that makes
tell
sense.
us why you
I believe it.
disagree.
I get drunk every
Just take
week,
it
and
for
you
the
guys take
camera,
advantage of
Phil.
me.
Kayfabe
You,
here. I need you to
you guys
kayfabe.
get that's a WWE term. No, I believe it. Every week, you guys, pour me a big glass of wine. You're like, "Oh, Phil, you're bigger. You can take this." And I'm going to work
I don't
like,
think
"Oh
anyone said that.
fuck, oh, I don't know if I can do this." So this gives me more validity. All
Very
right, Phil.
Yeah,
good. Perfect then.
that's so. Yeah,
Well,
so it'd be an interesting experiment to conduct when you're like, I'm 150 pounds lean. I'm getting ready for a marathon and drink a beer, or how many cocktails before you're like, I can't drive. and then just gain like 30 pounds and be like,
Please.
is it going to be the same amount?
You should run this experiment. Run this.
No, the three of us should
run
run this
this
experiment.
clean, you yourself, and then like gain like 40, 50 pounds. And
I don't know if I can gain that much. That's
Dude,
gonna
I
be
would
really
love to
hard.
try this out. The three of us at some point in the next year or a couple of months, we time each other. We drink the same. We'll see who gets drunk. We'll see who
Get a
can,
health check.
me
Yes,
and
we'll
Phil
do-
have to lose weight, and you
We'll-
have to gain weight.
we'll breathe into a breathalyzer, right?
Yeah,
And we'll see
exactly.
whoever makes it to the above the alcohol drinking level is a winner.
Perfect.
I like
Interesting.
this. I'm pumped.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting.
Hey,
Yeah,
the more we learn.
it's like a
Fun fact,
known.
guys. Yeah. Learned it from
It's
Bill.
like
It's not bigger people, right? It's just like people
Yeah.
with a lot of body.
more body fat.
Higher body
Yeah.
fat. That's right.
So if you're like,
Mhm.
what you're saying is we should get super jacked so we can drink as much as we can.
That's right.
There we go.
Wow, that makes
Right.
sense.
All right, Phil,
Hell yeah.
close us off then, bud.
Hey, everybody, this has been a wonderful year. Thank you so much for being part of this Bro Nation, this Bro family, this Bro Coalition. And just the same way that you've seen us grow and spread our wings, we hope to continue to soar in 2023. And all thanks to the support of you guys at home. Thank you. And see you all next week.